The past couple days has brought pretty disappointing news because if you are like me, then you are a big fan of Impractical Jokers. I've been watching this since I was in high school, man. And it's always a little bit difficult to see a show that you really love and some people falling into some controversy. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, again, very beginning of the YouTube video, so we have to be careful for the guidelines over here. But Joe Gatto from Impractical Jokers has been accused of SA, and today, as of right now, by the time you're seeing this video, this information is of last night, so it's extremely up to date. We're going to dive into the accusation, the original videos, Joe Gatto's response. We are going to be getting into all of that along with the internet's thought on this matter. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another video. If you are new here, my name is Kyle. I am your guy with many YouTube channels, guys. Let's take a look at this initial video over here. So the username is JuicyB. And this is the initial part of the story. There are 3 TikToks that she posted. We're going to be taking a look at all of them, and then we are going to get into a couple comments and Joe's response. We're going to be continuing on with this. Let's get into it for you guys.
Sexually assaulted by Joe Gatto.
Sorry.
I got sexually assaulted by Joe Gatto, the Impractical Joker. I'm so sorry I was at work and I didn't think that shit was going to blow up. I've literally been posting about this shit for over a year.
Yeah, and we've heard people talking about that, how she's been posting this and messaging people. I don't know anything about that, but I do have all of the information for you. We're going to be walking through all of it. We've had it all gathered for the sake of the video today. And apologies, I know I'm going to receive some comments down below. In order to fairly use videos like this, other people's content, I do have to pause and give commentary throughout, so my apologies if that's annoying to you.
Over a year. And I've been DMing celebrities, other people, like trying to get my story out there. And one goddamn little TikTok that follows this little trend about a celebrity, then it fucking blows up. And you guys don't believe me. Why do you think I was...
Now, here's the problem, okay? Here's the problem. Now, I need you guys to be understandable. I need you guys to be rational thinking adults over here and not take what I'm saying out of context. I am a big believer of innocent until proven guilty. I feel like for anybody arguing against that is just put the shoe on the other foot. How would you feel if somebody was doing this to you and there was nothing going on? You didn't know anything about it. Hi, Sunny baby. Sorry, my puppy just ended up walking by. I am a big believer of innocent until proven guilty. Things like this are made up. Things like this happen. So I don't have an opinion on it until we see some sort of thing from the court. But she is a little bit shocked about why people don't believe her. Why is the thought process to start messaging other celebrities and not to call the police when this types of thing happens? That's why people don't believe your story.
Yeah, I got sexually assaulted by Joe Gatto, the Impractical Joker.
And I imagine she's going to dive into it. There's a whole nother giant video over here. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've just seen the recaps of it.
Sorry if you don't want to believe it. But the people you idolize are not always going to be good. They're going to do shitty things, and they're going to take advantage of people.
Now, something that I absolutely do believe 100% is that people use their influence and perhaps, from what I've seen, I believe that they ended up hooking up, but it's not uncommon for a celebrity to not be the greatest guy. It's not uncommon for somebody to use their influence in order to get into women's pants. You know, I'm not saying it's okay. It's just, it's not shocking. Never meet your heroes.
I'm not saying it was, I think some of it was my fault. I don't fucking know how this shit works, but I just posted the proof.
All right, and this is something that we're going to be taking a look at.
I told you guys half of it.
And well, why is that not the case, though, and why does the police not know about it? But again, like I said, it does not stop there because there are more TikToks for us to take a look at over here. This is the biggie, okay? Let's see.
You guys ready? Since a lot of people like to make assumptions about things, and rightfully so, since I didn't post a lot of information out there, I just kind of posted some statements, and
yeah, and this is what we need to hear. We need to hear the actual full stories.
That can lead to a lot of false information, so I wanted to come out here and share my story right out flat and how it is, and finally get it out there because I didn't know how to or if it would ever gain attention, and now I have some, so here's my time to shine.
And at the time of recording this video was posted 3 days ago. It doesn't say the view count. The comments are over 15,000. It has 153.8K likes. Can't imagine how many views that is. Millions, probably.
Here we go. My first interaction with this man was at brunch with my mom and my sister, and we were all fangirling. We were like, no fucking way. Literally, look. Couldn't believe it. And nobody else really recognized him, so of course we went up and we asked for a picture. because nobody else was. So, of course, we're going to be those annoying bitches.
Very, very normal behavior. Again, a little bit weird if we're talking about brunch. I would never, I mean, like, that's besides the point. I'm just like, I would never bug somebody while they're eating.
So, yeah, we went up, we took pictures. Here's me. Here's my sister. My sister is a way bigger fan than me. I'm literally only an Impractical Jokers fan because of her. She used to watch it every single night before bed, and I used to hang out with her sometimes in her room, and we would watch it every single time. And when we lived together, she would have it on 24/7, 24/7.
Yeah, and it's disappointing to see people go through this as well, because I've been a big fan of Impractical Jokers for a very, very long time. And again, big believer in innocent until proven guilty, but it sucks, like, to hear this thing. And, like, regardless of what happened, what she's going to get into is they ended up meeting up in a hotel room at 2 a.m. Regardless of whether or not he did it, it's a slimy thing to do. It's like, it's weird. What's Joe, 50-something? Actually, I'm going to look that up right here. Sorry about that, guys. We're going to look up Joe Gatto age. Let's see. The dude is 48 years old. Okay, he looks a little older than that. He's 48 years old. Wow, they're all 48. Brian's 49. Okay, besides the point. It's weird. This girl's like 19. It's creepy. Is it legal? Yeah, it's slimy, and it sucks that you have to, like, start equating those things when you start watching the show together, man.
That's all that lady watched. Anyway, that's kind of like an important thing. So, while we were over there taking pictures with him, he had asked us if we were going to his comedy show that night. We knew nothing about said comedy show, but we would have gone together. My sister used to live here, and now she lives somewhere else, whatever. She had plans that night. She couldn't go. So I wanted to go with a friend. Those are hard to find, so I couldn't find a friend to go with me. So I had messaged, said sir, because he had liked my Instagram story and whatnot. So I was like, okay, maybe.
And again, it's a little bit weird for Joe to just follow this random fan. Like, again, I'm not saying that he did it or didn't do it. It's just like, it's strange behavior, man. And that why else would Joe follow you on Instagram? There's one goal in mind there. There's one reason why you're going to get invited to a hotel room at 2 a.m.,
And get some free tickets because, I don't know. I've never met a celebrity before. This is literally the first celebrity I've ever met in my life. And it low-key worked. So here's my Instagram story. Here's the text I sent him, like, crazy to meet you, gonna try and get tickets to your show.
Now, I'm interested in this because these I haven't seen, actually, okay? Gonna try to get into your show tonight. Awesome to meet you, for sure. Come. It'll be fun. Just bought 2 tickets. Now I have to find someone to come with me. Haha, I can't wait. Awesome. I'll leave 2 meet greet passes for you at the box office under your name so you can come back and say hello. Have fun. Again, really, really weird. And did Joe have a wife at this point? I would imagine they were split up, but, like, a celebrity cheating on their wife, shocking, and then goes through a divorce. That could explain a lot. It's just, it sucks, man. It sucks.
Awesome to meet you, for sure. Come, it'll be fun. Got tickets, trying to find someone to come. Awesome. I'll leave 2 meet and greet passes for you at the box office under your name so you can come back and say hello. Have fun.
I know, and, like, you should have noticed he's being a little too friendly there.
Huh? So does that mean I have free tickets?
Probably.
That's cool. I don't know if that did or not. Like, I literally didn't know what to do in this situation. I didn't know. That's later in the story. Anyway, so that all happens. I'm, like, getting the tickets, whatnot, planning to go to the show.
And what's important to note too? Sorry to keep pausing this on here. I am also always skeptical of these things. Again, don't make any judgments about myself in the comments below, please. I'm just trying to think about this as rationally as possible. I know these things happen. I know these things don't happen. Innocent until proven guilty, right? You could always Photoshop. You can always Photoshop Instagram DMs. So I'm not the type of person to take those as proof. It happens. Like, so do I believe it happened? Like, the Instagram messages, I do, but I'm taking them with a grain of salt.
Go to the show. And if you look on my TikTok, you can find the video of it. I just don't want to insert it again. But it was fun. Like, I was so excited. This was the first comedy show I'd ever been to, the first famous person, and this, like, actual famous person I liked and was gonna be funny. Like, I felt safe going to this show. Like, I've been to this theater a million times before and whatever. So I go and I'm waiting in line and I'm, like, trying to go to get to the box office, tell someone my name so I can get these whatever. And nobody's really believing me. It was kind of this whole thing. And then they finally did, and there was a whole sticky note with my name, like, blah, blah, blah. And then this lady
and I wonder if those guys thought, like, oh, Joe, you slimy man. You think that's what, I wonder what that's what they were thinking.
And led me to a certain spot. And long story short, I had an entire row, like barred off row in the Pabst Theater in Milwaukee to myself and 2 other people, I believe.
Dude, I feel like that's just awkward. Not only going there by yourself and then being forced to sit down and stay there awkwardly. What, Joe want to get a good look?
We're on like the opposite end, but there was literally like a million seats in between us. Don't mind him. But it was fun, whatever. I did the meet and greet at the end, and I was by myself, so all these ladies let me skip to the head of the line, so I didn't have to wait behind all these like families trying to meet this dude. And I skipped to the head of the line.
I want to stop this and point this out as well, because she's wondering why people don't believe her. And there's another thing where if you would have, like, people who have traumatic experiences typically are hurt by it for life, you know? This girl seems very, very eager to tell her story. It seems like she's just gossiping about like her day. You know, you ever hear girls yap to each other? It feels like it's just one of those things. And then she's sitting down wondering why people don't believe it. She seems excited, you know, you know, it's possible. It's just the way she speaks, but I'm just giving reasons. Again, YouTube, I'm very grateful to be on your platform. I would never accuse of such a thing. It's just, those are some of the reasons why some people might not be believing this girl.
And took some pics with dude, and
look at the speech pattern, man.
Yeah. Here are the pics. So here's the one.
Hey, man, this is what I don't like. Like, obviously, they hooked up, right? Obviously, okay? Like, look at the age gap there, man. It's just creepy, dude. It's just creepy. And look, I know it's easier to say. Like, I'm 27 years old. I even think, like, when I look at, like, 18, 19-year-old girls, yeah, they're absolutely legal, but they look like kids to me, man. And I'm like, eh. Like, I find myself attracted to, like, maybe 24, 23 and up, you know, once they start becoming women. It's just creepy, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the celebrities getting all messed up. It could be a adult content problem. That's certainly something that people could get into.
I look really
different. It's just like, why, Joe, man? Why?
My forehead looks low.
I'm not taking that like why. I know people say that like why as in like she's ugly, but I mean like she looks like a kid.
Big. Here's another one. Looks gross. It just looks gross now when I look at it.
To be honest with you, like there's nothing wrong with giving a hug. I know celebrities give people hugs all the time.
Oh, here's a little pic from the comedy show. Why does he look so small? He looks so teeny. I don't know if you can see the... Why did I just try... Okay. Well, you can't see the row in front of him. But I was literally in a row by myself. So after that all happened, I went home and...
Hello? This is the type of thing that I'm kind of talking about. It's kind of like just... You know, here's my day, you know, here's my day. Here's quirky old me and my cat, you know. YouTube, I'm just giving reasons as to why some people might not believe this girl. I, of course, would never suggest such a thing.
I went home.
It's just strange, honestly.
I had a crazy roommate at the time. And so I was drinking, not because of her, just because I was drinking. Because I like to drink. Anyway, and she kind of was half convincing me to do it. Like, if you don't do it, you're going to regret it. Like, do it for the plot, blah, blah, blah. So I was drunk, whatever. And then he was texting me all this stuff, and, like, it was starting to get a little weird, you know? Oh, I totally forgot about this. I cried when I met him.
Okay, so we continue on.
I was so overwhelmed. Like, this was a, like, big personal experience for me to go and do something by myself.
Anyways, okay. So happy you loved it, and sorry I made you cry. So she cried, and she sent a picture, like... I don't know. Regardless, no worries. All good tears anyway. Sound good. You looked great. Perfect. Here we go, Joe.
This was a big girl. This was a big girl thing, and I had never met a famous person. I've said that a million fucking times. How about I say it again? Anyway, so happy you loved it. Sorry I made you cry. Haha. No worries. All good tears anyway. Haha. Okay, you look great in the picture, so that's good.
And hint number one right there. If it already wasn't obvious that why Joe would be so friendly in front of a fan. And keep in mind, guys, if you're any woman watching this. Celebrities aren't going to be that nice to you. You know, there's one reason why not just celebrities, but guys might want to talk to you. There are always ulterior motives. Guys are not just friends with girls. Guys are not just nice to girls. It does not exist, okay?
Thank you. I think at the start of the picture, though, trying to kind of... Let's get around that. That was a little weird, so let's just...
Was that the intention of that message? Potentially. We have to take her at her word, right?
Gonna pretend that didn't happen. So then we get a debatable. Sir, that's not I wasn't, no. Story applies, agree with me. Glad I'm giving you street cred, low key. And then I'm like drunk and I'm being honest because it's a celebrity. I don't know how they work. So I'm like, I'd rather have real friends.
I'd rather have real friends than street cred anyway. Just got to show off what people missed. Fuck yes. What a day. All right, Joe.
Street cred, just got to show the people what they missed. What did it say? Fuck yes, what a day. Fuck yeah. Hope the rest of your night is epic. Literally just tell them what I'm doing.
What was that other message there? What did she say after that?
Fuck yes, what a day.
Just drinking and hanging out. Hope yours is too. So she's continuing the conversation.
Fuck yeah. Hope the rest of your night is epic. Literally just tell them what I'm doing. So after this, he turns on vanish mode. Also, the sky looks kind of pretty. He turns on vanish mode. So I didn't get much of that. And I was drunk and crazy roommate. So doesn't make the best combination. But
and then this is also where there's a little bit of a hole in your story. You know, again, I'm just talking about like why somebody may not believe this story, right?
I did get the one screen or like picture of my phone of him on vanish mode texting me the instructions to get to his hotel room. And I had been to this hotel many a times. I went there. I took my prom pictures there. My sister worked there, and my sister's boyfriend worked there. Like, I've been there plenty of times, but, like, I don't know how it's going to be when there's a celebrity there.
This is the issue, right? This is the issue. Hey, here's the instructions to come to my hotel room. It's incredibly difficult to believe that somebody thought any innocent activities were going to go there. Did you think that you were going to make a new friend? Did you think that you were going to build Legos? Did you think that you were going to read a book? Like, this is the part that's incredibly difficult to believe, right? Again, could it have happened? Absolutely. 100%. Does it happen? I'm sure it does. That's tough. You know, that's tough. And it was at 2 a.m.
So, to get to the point, Ubered to the hotel, and it was a little, like, he was giving me these weird instructions. Like, I was, like, thinking I was going to be, like, a stealth, like, spy mode at this point. I walk in the door, somebody opens the door for me, whatever, and they're, like, asking me, like, I forget what they asked me. I don't know, I was drunk, I don't know. But, somebody led me to the elevator, and somebody was on the elevator with me and pressed the button. Sorry, my cat, he has upper respiratory.
So she went up to his hotel room. She got there, and she went there, and seemingly with intentions. That's what some people would suggest.
Somebody pressed the buttons for me on the elevator, and like whatever. So I don't know what was going on. I don't like to think about it, but anyway, it was, yeah. And then I have pictures in the outside the elevator, like in the waiting area to go down the hallway. It was the weirdest, like, long, like, I don't know if it was a U shape, but it was like a super
all right
long...
This is a little unnecessary to the story. Like, come on,
curvy. Hold on,
let's get to
this
it.
Is me in the elevator, fancy ass elevator, me like, what the fuck's going on? Oh, it's a video, but I don't. Yeah. Well, I also have like the timestamp down here. I wanted to show that.
We probably should play the video if anything. What if there's something useful in that, you know?
This is how late it was. This is, I think, when I left.
So it was 2:26 a.m. when she left.
But it was this big ass area. Also, I like this cone. That's kind of funny. But yeah, then
Also, it's not me. It's the TikTok that's lagging. I don't know if you can tell by the time I'm pausing it. My lips are, moving with it.
Some stuff happened. I don't want to go into the details about everything.
But if you're, this is the other problem with it too. If you're coming forward with something like this, I believe that we should have like absolute full details. Absolutely. What did he do? And why wasn't the police called? And why is it other celebrities that you're trying to DM?
I'm not going to show the picture that I posted on my account before.
Now, I've seen this picture, and it is a very graphic picture. I'm not going to find that picture for you, but it is a very, 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 very prominent bruise on her butt. Like, bad. And she said that he did this with his teeth.
Of moi, but it just like the things he said, and like he was bragging like about things, and just was, it was just, I don't want any girl to feel like that and to have.
This is the problem. This story isn't really lining too much up. You saying you were essayed by Joe Gatto. What did he do? What did he do? And this is my first time watching this 10-minute video. I got the recap and I got some clips from it. What did he do? Explain in detail. You just said that he was bragging about himself. We need more.
Don't meet your stars.
Yeah, they say don't meet your heroes, to be honest with you. I'm not saying that they'll essay you. I'm just saying, like, they're often not what you'd expect them to be. A lot of celebrities are pieces of crap.
But, like, don't dig your foot where it doesn't belong. Let's just say that. I'm finally, like, I've been wanting to tell people this for so long.
So what do we get from this story? She met him. He was a little creepy towards 8. I'm almost sure she said she was 19. I don't know if she said, like, I know that's been going around. I'm almost sure she's 19. If not, she's young. Like, she's legal. Joe's being really creepy around a 19-year-old, probably trying to use his influence to, hook up with her. It's seemingly she was down for that. She got drunk. She went to his hotel at 2 a.m. And what some people would suggest, and it's important to note, like, guys, I could it have happened? Yeah. Could it not have happened? Yeah. Like, there's just, this story is a little difficult to follow because it is that simple. I went to his hotel room at 2:30 in the morning, and some people are saying that she just regretted her behavior, because this is something that you see very often nowadays, like this whole idea that we've had probably since, maybe 2018-ish, 2017-ish, the idea of revoking consent. That has been a thing that a lot of people talk about, It seems, some people would say, I of course would never suggest such a thing, but it seems to be one of those cases. But I'm not above the idea, man. I'm not above the idea. It's just we need a more concrete story, and we need to know why the first thing wasn't to go to the police.
And I've, like, tried in different ways, but it's hard to, with somebody this big, come to the realization that if I do say something, that I'm really saying something. So if you made it this far in the video, I really appreciate you.
This is tough. We're gonna stop it there, but this is a little. This video could have been 30 seconds long, but there is one more video for us to take a look at before we continue on with Joe's response, because again, there are more to talk about, and we'll want to take a look at what people had to say about all of these TikToks. Okay, let's get down to it, guys. You wanted a story time? This is how it started. Okay. Oh, so we have the full conversation over here, which is cool. Okay. Crazy to see you, Milwaukee. Sorry for interrupting your breakfast. It was nice meeting you today. I'm going to try and get tickets for your show tonight. So this is the stuff that we saw. I'm going to mute this in case it's a copyrighted material. Okay. And this is what the stuff we also already saw over here. Joe's doing a show. They met some more. Joe being friendly, like a little too friendly, probably. Her and Joe continuing the conversation, a little flirtatious, right? Debatable story. Replies, agree with me. Glad I'm giving you street cred. We also saw this as well. Joe Gatto, just drinking, hanging out, and I don't think that, okay, there wasn't anything else beyond that. All right, so before we get into Joe's conversation, let's take a look at some comments over here. This happened to me with Chris D'Elia. I know the name, but I have to be thinking about this. You're not doing this to Joe. A lot of people on Joe's side, okay? A lot of people on Joe's side with this. Girl, why'd you keep texting him? This is a kind of what I'm wondering as well. Girl, you're the one creeping me out. I wouldn't say she was creeping him out. Like, it's normal to want to talk to a celebrity, someone that you like, right? He tried to end the convos multiple times. I wouldn't say that, but it did. It's possible, man. It's possible. There definitely wasn't anything wrong in the messages. It's just like, little gross, man. Little gross. Like, you shouldn't be talking to a girl that young, especially if you have a family yourself, But we bring back to this video over here in the comments on this one. Top comment, 22K likes. Girl, you went to his hotel at 2 a.m. What'd you think you were going to do watching Impractical Jokers? But honestly, like, there is no other intention to go to a guy's house or hotel room or wherever he is late at night, or honestly in general, but especially at 2 a.m. after drinking. I'm not above the idea that Joe wanted to use his, fame to, get with somebody. And a lot of people do that. Is it slimy? Yeah. Is it legal? Yes. but she's claiming that he just essayed her, right? It's giving me, I was drunk and now I regret it, so I'm going to get my 15 minutes of fame. You knew exactly why you were going to that hotel. Be for real. And there is a ton of this, and there's a lot of always believe the victim, right? This has just been stirring up a ton of controversy on the internet over here. Believe the victim until it's Joe Gatto, apparently. Again, what's important to note is innocent until proven guilty. And I should have said this a lot earlier in the video, guys, but for me personally, while I keep saying innocent until proven guilty, and I will not believe that Joe Gatto is, you know, an R word, okay? I'm not going to believe that until we see him like locked up or something like that. It's important to note that I wish for harsher punishments for these people than a lot of people even would. I can't say publicly on YouTube what I would like, how I would like these situations handled, because I can't imagine how sick that people can be out in the world, people taking advantage of women, some of the most innocent among us, especially when they're young, preying upon them. Not only doing that, I can't imagine the traumatic experience some people go through, what it's like to have somebody actually do that to a girl. I think that maximum punishment isn't nearly enough, and that's how seriously I personally take this. But I also understand that there are a lot of times where, you know, we have people guilty before being innocent these days. There are red flags in people's stories. I will not believe anybody until innocent until proven guilty. There's no such thing as just believe all victims. There's no such thing as anything like that, and to have a functioning society. And look how society's been going downhill. And it's also important to note that things like this do happen. I'm not going to be one guy where it's like, hey, I like this TV show, so not my Joe, you know. Like, you know, I hope you guys understand. I think logically, and we don't have a ton of that anymore, you know. As a victim, this isn't giving me victim. No one sounds this excited to tell their story ever. Never once heard someone tell their story with such enthusiasm and eagerness before. And yeah, she was talking about her cat, and like, it was just an entire weird situation, man. That's crazy, because you texted, you were drinking, he decided to turn on vanish mode. He knew from the start. It's possible. It's possible, man. It's possible. It's a little creepy, you know, turn on vanish mode. Like, what'd you think was going to happen over there? But we can take a look at the other TikTok comments as well over here. This is from the first video. Let's be real, people. Who the hell is going to lie about Joe Gatto? No one. You're a piece of crap if you think she's lying. We see celebrities doing horrible things every day. Let's not pretend that fame and money doesn't turn people to the most evil versions of themselves all the time. I'm so sorry to you for having this happen to you. This part is very accurate. This happens a ton of times, but what do you mean, let's be real, people? Who's going to lie about Joe Gatto? Weird. And that's the top comment, man. That's a top comment. I don't understand how that one's a top comment, but all right. Joe Gatto always seemed weird, bro. I'm sorry this happened to you. Yeah, well, one thing that we can agree on is the dude was weird, you know? For a sec, I thought Joe Gatto was the guy in the basement yard. I don't know who that is, but or the basement yard. Oh, Joe Santa Gatto. I do know who that is. That's actually funny. Oh, man. I'm going to start out by saying I don't give a crap about Joe Gatto. Never cared about Impractical Jokers, but I really think you're lying, girl. The proof you showed isn't really proof in the text that you showed. Yeah, she kind of went against herself, you know, with those messages. That's the problem, right? Sorry, Dickie. Oh, yeah, but this is what I agree with. Tell the police, not me. Why are you DMing other celebrities? You know? It's just weird. But enough with the comments over here, because I want to take a look at what Joe Gatto actually said over here. Variety ended up posting this over here and had this to say. Former Impractical Jokers star Joe Gatto's issued a response after a woman posted an essay allegation against a 48-year-old comedian over TikTok on Thursday. I have used poor judgment and as a result have violated the trust of the people I love most. But anyone who knows me at all knows full well that I wouldn't assault anyone. Working on myself is an ongoing process, and I am now going to take some time away from the public eye to focus the energies where I need to. Classic legal response, man. Like, there's nothing to really dive deep into that. You know what is easy to believe is that Joe and this girl ended up, you know, at the very least having some sort of relations with each other. But of course, Joe is denying the actual assaulting part. I know a lot of people have been talking about, like, oh my God, these guys knew. This is why he left Impractical Jokers. This is why he got a divorce. Maybe, but he could just be cheating on his wife. I imagine that the vast majority of celebrities end up cheating on their wives. There is a saying that's been going around for quite a while, and I'm almost sure it's men are as only faithful as their opportunities. I have such a hard time believing that, but you see this with celebrities everywhere, man, because I know that there is nothing on this planet that could make me cheat on my wife. Not a chance. You guys, and I fully, and I know I'm gassing myself up a little bit here, but I expect to be one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform one day. You will never hear something like this from me. You will never hear this. Like, and it's normal to like message people. Like, people have messaged me saying they like their videos, and like there's people that have like had very, very little bit of small talk. I'm not saying like any girls, don't get me wrong. I'm just talking about like people. It's normal for anybody to, and obviously I'm not a celebrity like Joe Gatto, but it's normal to like message people, but it should be just like, hey, thanks for coming to the show. And like maybe a couple more things, you know? It's weird. It's just not surprising that these people get famous. A lot of people want to hook up with them. They take advantage of that. Are they wrong for that? I guess not. I guess not. It's just a little bit slimy, but it is wrong if Joe Gatto was with his wife. And it's just creepy, man. Like, look at Joe in this picture, dude. Look at Joe in this picture, and then look at the girl. It's a huge age gap there. It's just gross to me. It's just gross to me. But it's not just about what I think, of course. Let's take a look at a couple of the top replies talking about this. Joe Gatto is accused of SA. None of this makes sense. Why did you wait 2 years instead of immediately calling the police? This is very true. Why was that the case? And why aren't you talking about that? That needs to be answered immediately. That bruise did not come from someone's teeth. Again, I'm not going to show the bruise. It doesn't look like it could come from somebody's teeth, but it was a very, very prominent bruise, and it happens, man. Like, I can't dissect the bruise for you, okay? Why did you block out your responses when he told you to come up to the elevator? I'd have to go back and pay attention to that. I believe Joe slept with you, but he did not, you waited 2 years to make this public. His wife has left him. Now he sees his kids part-time. Joe's response, and yeah, we already took a look at the response over there. So that was one of the top replies over to this entire situation. I'm guessing his ex-colleagues knew something was up a while ago. You don't break up a friendship, let alone a lucrative business partnership, just over a simple infidelity. Probable SA allegations too. That warrants cutting ties. A lot of people have been talking about this. Is it possible? Yeah, but I would imagine we would have heard it in the story that she was going to the police, or at the very least, like, hey, I left this part of the story because I legally can't say anything, It's a little bit weird. Jax9799 had this to say about it. I've been messaging celebrities and no one will listen. File a police report the day it happens and most people will believe you with an investigation. The reality is you don't go to some random person's hotel room at night with intentions of board games. This is a fame grab attempt. This is the problem, right? But she said, hold up. I bet if I message T-Pain, the people will believe me. Sorry. It just doesn't make sense, man. Why would that not be the first thing? But it's right. If I heard that somebody like, hey, she left at 2:30 in the morning. If at 3 o'clock the police report was filed, she went there immediately, 100%. That seems to be what most people would do. Okay? Just because Joe Gatto is funny doesn't mean that he didn't, somebody. He's pushing 50, knows exactly what he's doing. Stop babying him because he's your favorite TV show. There are a lot of people that would do that. There's a lot of people that have done really, really slimy things here and there, right? And then people will just, not my Joe. It doesn't necessarily apply to the situation because it's such a weird one with such little evidence, but you kind of get what I'm saying, okay? There was a huge thread that got a lot of traction over here. People victim blaming the girl on TikTok for being SA'd by Joe Gatto is disgusting. There's a massive power imbalance there since she was a fan. Not only that, but going to his hotel room does not mean she consented, you freaks. If she didn't vocally express her consent, that's not consent. There's so much more to consent, and I fear people don't understand, which makes me lose faith in in humanity. This is a little bit of an issue because now we have the idea that you can revoke consent, And it's so weird with the fact, like, technically, yeah, people didn't consent, but think about, and if you've been watching this video, depending on how old you are and depending on your life experience, how often when you have been with a girl in your entire life, have you had to go with vibes and, like, I don't know how else to say this. Just be adults. Don't take me out of context, okay? There aren't a lot of people on this planet who sit down and go, is it all right if I hold your hand? Is it all right if I kiss you? You will turn the girl off, and then you will lose your opportunity. Is it polite? Absolutely. But most people go off of vibes in this world. And again, I need you to just be real and not take what I'm saying and just draw any sort of conclusions over there, okay? But let's be honest. How many people actually sit down and be like, hey, I really like you. Is it okay if I put my hand on your thigh? Yeah, it happens, and then technically, no, you didn't give consent. Technically, That's a really dicey one. But I know that's not where this post is going, okay? To add to this, she was drunk. He bragged about, I'm guessing, the platform the platform he has, which is gross. He provided so much proof, or she provided so much proof, excuse me. It's not even about proof as to why people don't want to believe her. It's always believe victims until it's your fave. Why should it always be believe victims too? And then a lot of people pointing out that she's drunk. Yeah, you know what? People make mistakes when they're drunk. Should we not hold people accountable when they drunk drive and kill a family of 5? I used to work in an emergency room. The amount of times I've seen people coming in with their lives changed, people coming in dead, people coming in with limbs off of their bodies because somebody that was drunk did something to them. Should we just, well, he was drunk. Let's excuse that behavior, That's not how it works, okay? If you're going to reply with some BS or, like a man like Joe, then I will block you. Your stupidness is not welcome here. I think that we just need rational thought, rational conversation. And of course, again, on YouTube, I'm very grateful to be on this platform. I would never dream of questioning anything about this girl's story, but it's understandable why people might question. People have questions. People wonder why she didn't go to file a police report immediately, or if at all. People are wondering why she's so eager to tell her story. People are wondering why she's being so quirky in her story. People are wondering why she went to a man's hotel room at 2:30 in the morning. Is it possible that this happened? Yes, but we're going to need a little bit more information. Not only that, she didn't share exactly what he did. There's one photo of a bruise, and she's like, he did this with teeth. It's unfortunately not enough. It's just important to remember that everybody's innocent until proven guilty. And with Joe's response, obviously, at the very least, they ended up hooking up. And again, it was a slimy thing to do, but did he actually, do what was claimed? Sorry, I have to be careful with my YouTube terms. It's a toughie, guys. I would love to know what you think about this in the comments down below. Thank you very much for watching. We also took a deep dive into the Harry Sisson situation, which you can take a look at right here if you are interested. I would love to have you guys over there. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Take care.